Hi, I am Jerry N. Quick, and I wrote the Mudpolo Theory with the goal to unite and bring us closer together as a nation with the truth concerning our dark past history that has led to and is continuing to divide us as a nation. Knowledge and understanding of our true dark past history is a key that will give you the knowledge and understanding of the underlying causes that have and continue to divide us as a nation. There's an old saying that we need to learn from our past so that we don't continue to make the same mistakes in the future, which is true. However, when it comes to our true dark past history, it is being misrepresented, mischaracterized. Parts are actually being omitted, which would clarify the truth, and in most cases is even not true. It's false, it's lies. This is my main goal, my main focus and motivation for writing the Mudpolo Theory, and that is to disclose the truth concerning our dark past history. The old saying is that the truth will set you free. Recently, I saw a post on Facebook from one of my friends who wanted to know if anyone knew of anybody who had a set of old encyclopedias that they wanted to sell. In her post, she stated that she has done Google searches, and a lot of times there was no results, and at other times the results had information that simply was not correct and or true. Apparently, she was trying to find out the truth and could not find it on her Google searches. When I was doing my research to do my video on affirmative action, I had a problem finding some of the same information that I had found approximately 5 years ago when I was doing my research in preparation to write the Mudpolo Theory. I'm constantly saying in the Mudpolo Theory and in my videos, do your own research and find out the truth for yourself, so that you will have more confidence trusting in what I say. However, my biggest fear has been and still is that the information may no longer be available, especially concerning your Google search to find the truth. That they simply do not want you to know the truth. To know and understand our true dark past history will not only help you to understand the underlying causes that divide us, but will also help you understand how those underlying causes are being used today to continue to divide us as a nation. By the time you finish reading the Mudpolo Theory and watch all of my videos, you will have a better understanding of who, how, and why we are being divided as a nation. For that reason, it is not only important that you get a copy of the Mudpolo Theory and read it, but it's also very important that you watch my videos. And if you have not watched my other videos, you need to watch them and watch all of my future videos. Like and subscribe below and click the bell icon so that you will be given a notification each time I post a new video. In this video and other videos that I plan on doing, I plan on discussing how economic figures have not only been changed, how they are not being disclosed, and how those economic figures are being manipulated to promote their agenda to divide and keep us divided as a nation. Before you can fully understand who, how, and why this is being done, it's imperative that you first know and understand our true dark past history. Reading the Mudpolo Theory and watching all of my videos will educate, teach you, and provide you with the information needed to understand who, how, and why we are being divided as a nation. In the Mudpolo Theory, I did devote a short chapter to the discussion of our economic division, because I knew that economics did play a significant role in our division. However, in the Mudpolo Theory, I admitted that I'm not an economist and that my knowledge of economics was limited. Since I knew the significant role that economics played in dividing us as a nation, after I finished and published the Mudpolo Theory, I have devoted more time and effort to learn as much as I can concerning how economics is being used to divide us as a nation. For purposes of this video, I have chosen to focus on how we are divided into a class system. Depending on who you talk to or who you look at to get a definition of the class system, most economists agree that we are divided into different classes based on income. I've heard some say that we have upper class, middle class, and lower class, while others break the income classification down even further. I've heard some say that we have the super rich, the wealthy, the upper middle class, the lower class, and the poor. All of these different classifications are based on the income of the members of those classes. At the end of this video, I will make the class system much easier to understand. The class system did not start in the United States, nor did it start in modern times. If you do your research and start with the oldest historical source to determine when the class system started, like I did when I was researching slavery, your search will start with the Bible, the oldest historical book that has been written. From reading the Bible, it should be obvious that a class system did exist then and probably existed prior to the time that the Bible was written. Based on my interpretation of the Bible, there were two classifications of people. There were those who were wealthy and privileged, and those who were servants and served the wealthy and privileged. As I stated in the Mudpole theory, there were even references made that people were bought and sold, something that you would associate with the institution of slavery. Even though I will not provide a historical account of the class system in this video, the class system started before the Bible was written and has continued throughout history and still exists today. While the classifications have been different throughout history and in each country throughout the world, history shows us that we have always been divided throughout history and that the classification system has been used in every country in the world to divide us. At the beginning of this video, I stated that I would give you a simple definition of the class system that is simple and very easy to understand. There are basically two classes of people, not only in the United States, but in every country throughout the world, and it is the same classification system that existed during biblical times. There is a ruling class, or as I call them, the Zionist power elites, who have the power, wealth, and authority to manipulate and control our lives. Anyone who is not part of the ruling class falls into the second group, who are the overwhelming majority of the people. I'm sure that most of you have heard the saying that this is a battle between the haves and the have-nots. However, if you will stop and think about it and use rational thinking to figure it out, it is now actually a battle between the haves versus the haves, and a separate battle between the have-nots versus the have-nots, a battle which the have-nots can only lose and will never win. With the lines that are being drawn between the Republicans and Democrats, it should be clear and very obvious that there is an ongoing power struggle to get and maintain control of our government. Walter E. Williams, a black man who often writes articles for the Daily Signal, has stated that, quote, the only people who benefit from class warfare are politicians and the elites. They get our money and control our lives, end quote, period. Well, I do agree with Walter E. Williams. I take it one step further because while we do elect our politicians to run our government, my concern is who they appoint to make decisions concerning how our government is actually ran, especially our financial policies. Our financial policies are are so very, very crucial to the success or failure of our overall economy. Our interest rates, unemployment, and so forth. Since I am planning on discussing this in more detail in a future video, and I discuss it in more detail in the mudpole theory, I will only touch upon the concern that I have concerning the manipulation of our economy. Currently, the people who are chosen to establish our financial policies are associated with the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a non-profit corporation that is not an agency of our government. Thomas Jefferson stated that when we give private corporations governmental authority, you deprive its citizens of their prosperity. And when you get to learning more about this, you'll agree that what Thomas Jefferson said is correct. Of course, the Federal Reserve Bank does not fit into any classification. In the mudpole theory, I stated that the person or persons who came up with the idea to divide us and keep us distracted from reality is a genius. However, the more I thought about it, I realized that this is not something new, but has been used throughout history. It is a war/battle strategy to divide and conquer. After dividing us into smaller groups, they would then offer part of the spoils of war if they would join in and go against the ones who they had originally been a part of, like General Sherman did during the Civil War. This is pretty much what is happening in the United States today. When the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and affirmative action became law, they would have helped poor people who had been oppressed and who had been struggling for equality. In reality, neither has really helped the blacks, but has only been detrimental to them. Since I've already discussed those topics in other videos, I will not discuss them here again. If you have not watched my videos on the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and affirmative action, I strongly encourage you to do so. It is very apparent that we are seriously divided in this great country of ours, and it is not just along racial lines and class lines, but along sex lines, sexual orientation lines, religious lines, and so forth. I'm sure that you are asking the question, what is the solution that will unite and bring us closer together as a nation so that we can focus more attention on what we can do that will bring about changes that will benefit all Americans? And the answer is very simple. When I was doing my research in preparation to write the mudpole theory, I came upon a video by a black man by the name of Larry Pinckney, who is a former leader of, and at the time of his video, a member of the Black Panther Party. The first thing that he made very clear is that the Black Panther Party is not to be mistaken as the new Black Panther Party, who were known as a violent militant group. According to Larry Pinckney, the Black Panther Party actually sued the new Black Panther Party to stop them from using the name the Black Panther Party as part of their name. And the court ruled against them, or the Black Panther Party. Larry Pinckney said it best when he basically said that the only thing that the Zionist power elite feared was the power of the people. He advocated that the only way that there would be real changes is by the people coming together to demand changes. He encouraged people, regardless of their race, skin color, religion, nationality, sex, or anything else, to join together and demand the change that is needed. The answer then to what is the solution is for us to come together as a nation. There's an old saying that you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. Basically, the politicians are going to tell you what you want to hear and try to do what they can but then again, they're not considering what is in the best interest of all Americans. There has to be a change in mental attitude because it cannot be about me or you. It has to be about us and what is in the best interest of the majority, not what is in the best interest of the minority. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you have not only enjoyed watching this video, but that you have learned something which will help you to better understand the underlying causes for anger, and will also help you to learn and understand some of what it will take to unite and bring us closer together as a nation. Please like and subscribe, and when you subscribe, be sure to click the bell icon so that you will receive notifications when I post new videos. I not only welcome, but I encourage you to leave your meaningful and productive comments so that we can have the conversations, discussions, and our dialogues that are needed to unite and bring us closer together as a nation. Please, no cursing, profanity, or name calling. I would also invite you to visit my website at mudpolotheory.com and subscribe so that you can receive my newsletter. While there, visit my store page where you can click on the Amazon icon and order the Mud Polo Theory through Amazon. You can also order the Mud Polo Theory through Barnes & Noble online, Books A Million online, and you can have your local bookstore even order it for you. Thanks again for watching. God bless America.